What's going on, guys? We're back. We're starting on the Cummins stuff today. We're gonna go through kind of what I got here first before I get into it, so you kind of understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing, and how I'm doing it, basically. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, we're good. Anyway, so said I was gonna do some Cummins content. So this is I just got done cleaning, as you can see. Whew. Okay, there, now we're good. Anyways, I just got done cleaning the block. You guys don't want to watch me clean the block, but anyway, here is a 5.9 Cummins, obviously, 24 valve out of, let's just say, I'm not very happy what it's out of. I'll tell you about it in a second. Anyway, we got it cleaned up. It's pretty clean. I was told this had a around 100,000 miles, which is good because my truck only has 150. So I was really like, I really don't want to put, buy an engine off Marketplace and buy one that's got a bunch of miles on it, has way more than my truck has on it. I just did a new transmission in my truck, built transmission, but we'll talk about that when I put this motor in. I'll give you the rundown of what I did to that transmission before it went in, because that transmission only has 100 miles on it, maybe, and then I got rod knock. Anyway, so this is my new engine. Has to come apart. I'm not happy about it. So here's my old block. Nasty. This just spun a bearing on the rod. You can see the rod down there. So I still have this. The crank's good. I wanted this to be a super quick turnaround, and it did not turn into a super quick turnaround, and I'll tell you why. So my truck is an 01. That motor over there is obviously an 01 original motor. This motor right here, it's a freaking 98.5 to 2000, and I'm not sure which obviously of the year, but I was told this was an 02. So this engine has a crank position sensor, where that engine over there only has a cam position sensor, and these ones had both, as you can see, both. But so I found this out from some of the guys on Cummins forums that actually watch this. This is not how this stuff was. I just brought these back to my house because my truck's obviously not here. As you see, there's no more room in the garage. I got my LS Swap Wrangler, the regular Jeep parks in there. But anyway, so I have to use my front timing cover and all that jazz. And I also have to use the cam, because the cam, which is right here on my workbench, has this ring on it, where that cam does not. So my cam position sensor would not work with that cam. So I have to take a perfectly running, as I was told, engine all the way down. So I just ordered all my gaskets. All my gaskets are on the way. They should be here probably tomorrow or the next day, but that'll be part 2 of this video. So today, we're going to tear this thing down. We're going to get this cam out, and I'm going to try and not hurt myself. Some of you are like looking at this, and you're like, what are you using, a half ton? Yeah, okay. So I got a big jack stand underneath, and I got the cherry picker right there. So if I need assistance, which I probably will. So anyway, I'm gonna set you guys up here, and we'll start taking this apart. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is take this valve cover off, which is super easy. This one is not the OEM bolts. I can just tell by looking at them. All this stuff is fairly loose. I've already had the head off this motor, so everything's pretty loose. So I'm just gonna, see, everything's finger tight. I'm just gonna bust these guys loose. I put these on without gloves yesterday, so my hands weren't as slippery. I get some grip. But pull the stuff apart, super easy. This is my first diesel, my Cummins is, and I've done everything on my original motor, from head gasket to head studs, injectors, and all that stuff. This has got to be one of the easiest engines to work on, besides like a 12 valve, but I haven't had a 12 valve, but I'm sure they're even easier. So I'm going to get this thing apart. That was sounding pretty good. You're like, well, you just had this apart. Why is it back together? So, quick story. If you watch any of my other videos, Steven, who's in just about all my videos, it's one of my really good friends, basically my brother-in-law. My truck is actually down at his shop because he's got a pretty good-sized pole barn. So I couldn't do all this stuff in my garage with my Jeep behind me and all the other stuff I got going on. My truck barely fits in this 2-car garage because it's so long. So even getting a hoist in here to move it out, it just wasn't gonna happen. So thankfully he's a super nice guy and awesome, and he let me park my truck down there while I get all this stuff done. This valve cover, we're just gonna set this over here. I probably won't use that valve cover because I have my original. So all this stuff's finger tight. So I'm gonna pull these guys out one at a time, and I'm actually gonna come over by you because that's where my mat is. And you wanna take your rockers off? I'll show you really quick. They're super easy. You got these 2 bolts right here, and then you can pull this whole thing out as an assembly and make sure to put it in line so you know when it goes back together which way it goes. So these will come off. Your rocker stuff will come down. Push rod's got to come out. This gasket can obviously come out first. Don't need it. We got a brand new one on the way. So this motor has no injectors in it, which I'm glad it doesn't, because all my injectors and feed tubes are right here. These are equivalent to 150 horse. I'm gonna try to remember the specs. I'm not 100% sure. I wanna say they're SAC 7x010, but I could be wrong on those numbers. All I know is they are 150 overs for sure. Stand, set back up. Okay, so start pulling these guys out. That looks like a 10 mil. We'll just throw a 10 mil on just to make it fast with an extension. Now the fun part, find a 10 mil. Right there. So I'll probably fast forward through some of this stuff because obviously you don't want to see me do 6 of them in a row. All that's going to be time lapse through, but I got all these guys, but this one I need to mess with and get it out. But all these are free. I'll pull these out. I got everything kind of laid out, cylinder 1 through 6. All this stuff's still good because it's ARP, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be. But I'm gonna clean all this stuff up, pull these guys out. And I was wrong. This engine does have injectors in it. My guess is stock injectors is what I would assume. So I can throw those up for, you know, whatever core price is on those guys. Get those out of here because I'm not going to need them. So I'm going to pull these injectors out and then pull this stuff off. And I'll check back in when I go to get this head off. All right, checking back in. I cannot get that freaking thing out. It is stuck. But one thing I did want to show really quick for people that don't know. So this is the actual bolt out of the valve cover. So when you take all the injector caps off, I'm pretty sure they're named something different, but anyway, when you take those guys off, you got your injectors in here, right there. Anyway, you can actually thread this guy in to get it, so you don't need the special tool, and you just rock, pull, bam. As easy as that to get these injectors out. So I'm gonna do that for the rest of these guys. Now check back in again when we get the head off. I just wanted to tell you about this because this is, you know, a lifesaver, so you don't have to do anything crazy. But a lot of these are super dirty. They're really gonna need to be cleaned up. I'll hit them with a wire wheel and stuff like that, and they should be fine. But like I said, we'll check back in. All right, guys, this is what I came up with. I've got the old Harbor Freight engine leveler. It's rated for like 750 pounds, it says. Which I know in this thing, I've put in the full engine, transmission, and transfer case in all I want, and I'm pretty sure that weighs more than 750 pounds. But anyway, this is kind of what I came up with really quick. I just bolted it together with a grade 8. Same, a little guy. This thing doesn't weigh that much. I mean, it does. This head weighs at least 250 pounds. And if I didn't, I cannot get this stud out. And if I get the stud out, I can lift it up a little bit just to get off the dowels and set it over there. But I'm gonna have to find something else. So I got all the feed tubes out too. Those were easy, came out, boop, boop, not gonna use them. This one's still in because this is here, but I needed to get this off before I want to pull it off. So we're gonna pull this guy and see what happens. Just because some of these YouTubers, you know, they're like, oh, you need this tool, you need this tool. I don't know. I don't think you need a lot of the stuff they say you need. Half the time, I do it without it. It's all about how bad you want to get it done. Really, I mean, it's kind of what it comes down to. Like I said, I do have a 12-ton jack stand up underneath this head, just because, underneath this engine, just because, there we go, it's free. It's a huge heavy engine, and it's definitely not for a half-ton engine stand, that's for freaking sure. But, like I said, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Get shit done. That's kind of how I see things. It's either gonna get done or it's not. And I just make stuff get done. Head's free. This freaking stud, man, it's stuck in there. Be like this for a day, so I'm just gonna leave it on the 4x4 with the chains and stuff all hooked up. Yeah, it'll be fine. No one's out here but me. Anyway, got the head off, all the cylinder walls. I already looked at all this stuff. All these cylinder walls look really good. Doesn't look like there's any scuffing and nothing like that. Get this nasty old head gasket off. Won't be needing that. So whoever put this tappet cover on used a lot of RTV. A lot. Which I'm gonna end up taking this off because I have a new gasket. So it's dirty. Get cleaned up. But yeah, all the cylinder walls look good. You can still see like the factory cross hatching in the cylinder, so that's a plus side. And they all say STD on them, so my guess is standard. So this block hasn't been bored out, nothing like that. Now, we get to the sketchy part. We have to pull this cam out. And how I want to do it is the same way I pulled the cam out of that one, is I spin the engine and do a full 180. So then you can pull the cam out, and then you don't have to worry about the tappets falling down. Otherwise, people use half-inch dowels that are long, push them through, bang them in, use rubber bands to hold them up. But since it's on a stand, I could spin a 180 and pull the cam out, put the other cam in, and then spin it back 180. Or wait, I can't even do that today because I need that gasket to come in for behind the front cover. Shoot! Well, at least I'm gonna get this front cover off, get this cam out, get it spun 180, so then when it does show up, I throw the new cam in and hope for the best. I don't really have the highest of hopes for this thing, but we'll see. So I'm gonna try to do some rearranging here and I'll check back in. So this is the sketchiness we've got set up right now. We got the 12-ton holding it right where the water pump would be. So we tilted it's we use the hoist to kind of move it around because this thing is super heavy and it's definitely not a half-ton freaking jack stand material. This thing's super heavy. You all know that by watching this video. You're like, look at this idiot. I'm that idiot. So I'm gonna start getting this cam out. I'm actually gonna take the oil pan off really quick. And at this angle, I'm thinking, I mean, I'm not thinking because the tappets would have to travel up to go out. It's not like they can just fall sideways. So they have to go up to go out. So at this angle, it's fine because I was thinking about it. And if I did a full 180 with it, so it would be the head on the bottom, there's nowhere I would be able to help support this thing because I am super sketched out about this. But there's nowhere I would be able to put the jack stand because the only thing there would be the head surface. And you don't want to mess up the head surface. That's like a no-brainer. So I'm going to get this oil pan off. I'm going to go through, see how everything looks in there. I was told it's running and all that stuff, so I believe him. But let's get this cam out. So we got our 10 millimeter for the oil pan. Extension and the good old Milwaukee Impact. We'll be able to get these things out in no time. Where am I going to set all these? Man, I'm running out of space. My biggest problem is space. I need more space. We'll just throw them here. I have 2 sets of them, so I can't really... If I lose one, I lose one. If I don't, I don't. They're tight. Okay, they're all loose. But yeah, like I was saying, it's just so hard to make time to go down to his house, even though he only lives 10 minutes away, but it's just hard when days like today, I get off work a little early and I don't have to worry about dinner because I'm already home type stuff, so let's pop this guy out and see what it looks like under there. Oh, duh, I got one left. Why didn't you tell me that? You're watching. You didn't tell me I had one left? You're not a very good watcher. So clean this guy up. Set this onto the side, right side. The oil is super dirty, but I see absolutely no metal shavings of any sort. So that's always good news when you're buying a used engine. So that's good. Dipstick straight in my face. And another thing that's different between the 2001 and like this, the screen's clean, so that's cool. Anyway, like I was saying, this, you probably can see this. This is the crank position sensor that's right here. And on the 01, geez, it doesn't have this. So we'll just not use that sensor. And I guess I should explain really quick why I didn't just get like the ECU and the harness. This guy didn't have the harness. All he had was the ECU. So I was like, well, I'll take the ECU since you sold me the wrong motor and you took a bunch of money that, you know, and you won't take it back. So why don't you give me the ECU? He's like, well, you'd have to give me your ECU. Well, what good's that going to do me when I have another 01 that I may possibly put together down the road, and then I don't have a computer for it? And I was like, well, let me think about it. Thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Do you have the harness to go with it? He's like, no, I don't have the harness to go with it. I'm like, then no, never mind. I'll figure it out. So here we are, figuring it out. Oil pan's off, so it shouldn't be a big deal if one of them tappets decide to fall in, because you can just grab it and literally push those tappets in. Just if I was to do it the other way, they'd all fall out, and then try to get them to stay in there without those wooden dowels, just it wouldn't have worked. But I'm gonna keep going and take some more stuff off. What is this? It looks like some 13s. It might be 13 mil. Ooh, I don't know. That 13 kind of small. It is a 13. That's surprising. So to take the cam out, my hands are filthy. To take the cam out of these, you've got two 13 mils, one there, one there. Just bust those guys loose. That holds the cam in place. And once you get those out, you can slowly pull the cam out. Then you can change the front cover. And the reason you have to change the front cover, hold on, I got a bunch of stuff in my lap, is the actual spot of the cam position sensor is wrong. It doesn't read the tone ring, so you have to change the front covers from what I was told. So, let's see. I need a new tripod. You know anywhere to get a good tripod? Let me know, because this thing's more of a pain than anything. So, one thing you do want to make sure of when you're pulling any engine apart in anything, make sure it's all lined up, top dead center. So, on the Cummins, we've got O's basically, a zero here, and it's lined up in between these two zeros here, and then there'll be another zero that goes to your VP pump. And all those have to be in line. So the double zero here, the single zero there, and I'm gonna verify that. I got pictures on my phone. I just wanna make sure when I put this new cam in, I put it in the right way. Because if it's 180 off, oof, not good. I'm sure that'll destroy some stuff. There'll be valves hitting big old pistons. Oh. It'd be a lot funner with music. But YouTube frowns upon music. They demonetize you. Alright, so let's see if this is gonna come out nicely. Yeah. Great. Drop that on the floor. And I forgot freaking hamburger buns when we grocery shopping. The thing's dirty, it's gonna have to be cleaned. Put it there. Now, this is a cast crank. And these freaking cranks are not a crank, these cams are cast. And they are freaking heavy. Like, super freaking heavy. And they're so long and awkward. Oh, it's a pain to get these out. There we go. Come on, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Come on. Oh. Not good on the cam journals, but it is what it is. Come on. Yikes. Just like that, it's out. As you see, this is the tone on this one for the cam position. Figured I'd point that out there. Dang, this cam looks like it's in great shape. It's good news. Cool, cool. So I'm gonna pull this front cover off and close this video out. And this will be part one. So just so you know, there's this bolt, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and then this whole piece comes off. And that's really all I got for you. I need to get this thing done and get in so I can help with dinner and stuff like that. But thanks for watching. If you did make it this far, I appreciate it. Sorry it's kind of boring. I'll speed up through a lot of the stuff. But thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. And we'll be doing a part 2 and gasketing this thing up and putting the new cam in and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to subscribe for more, that'd be great. And give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Peace.